My subject today is like a tale of two cities. Starting at the Brooklyn Navy Yard at about 0600 conjures images that I never actually saw but could only imagine. This was where my mother and father worked and met. The rest is history. The actual images of that era continue to be a mystery to me. Can I imagine Dad picking up his supplies from Brownie, which is the name the guys at the yard called my mom? Sure. Can I imagine my dad running after my mom on the very last day of work at the yard just to get her telephone number or address? Absolutely. Been there, done that. The image in my mind's eye tells me that there was a streetcar traveling up and down Flushing Avenue, the same Flushing Avenue I'm parked on right now, and the same one I'm taking my fold-up bike out of to ride. I'm imagining Mom getting on the trolley and Dad hustling to catch her as the trolley starts to take off. Sure, that's a bit of theater mixed in, but to be honest, the story of the way my mother and father met and how Dad courted her could have been a script produced by Universal, Paramount, or Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. Today my goal is to take the Astoria Line New York City ferry to Roosevelt Island. The island has history, just not the same kind of history for me that the Brooklyn Navy Yard holds. The island sits in the middle of the East River between Queens and Manhattan, and is only 2 miles long, so it makes for a great scenic route to take a track, ride a bicycle around, or just, walk. When I first heard about the island, the impression was that it was something new. The reality is that the island has been there forever. Depending on who ran the city, it had been called Minnehaha by the Lenape, Hog Island by the Dutch, Blackwell's Island by the British, and then Welfare Island, when it was packed with hospitals. When the city started its plans to build it up for widespread residential use, it got its present name, Roosevelt, in honor of FDR, of course. But alas, I'm not going to this island because of its history. No, it's something different. I ventured onto the island after the tram went up, sometime after 1989. On my first visit to Roosevelt Island, I found myself staring at a stone lighthouse at the far end of the island, and each time I visit the island, I go and traipse right on back to that very same lighthouse. I don't have any specific reason, I just do. Part of me feels it as art. Part of me feels it as peace and quiet. Yet another part of it seems to place me in a space of infinity. This is not something that I can explain, but it's not difficult to imagine standing on the tip of an island, having a sense of being at the center of something, and looking into the horizon. There's something very surreal about that experience. Some months ago, the island added an installation called The Girl Puzzle in honor of Nellie Bly. The artist is Amanda Matthews. It's a beautiful set of sculptures, no doubt, but part of me wished it had been constructed or placed not so close to the lighthouse. Give it some distance. It's hard to take in the beauty of one without it sharing the same space with the other. In all the times I visited the island, I never took any pictures, so today I packed my drone, and the idea was to put a face on the lighthouse memory that kept drawing me back again and again. At the other end of the island, there used to be hospitals. This was another fascination that had evaded me for decades. So today was the day that I would get to both ends of the island and attempt to get some footage. Due to the fact that the hospital ruins were in close proximity to the FDR Park, I needed to be very cautious, not looking to run into any security. The thing I had not planned on shooting was the 59th Street Bridge. Even though its presence over the island was impossible not to notice, I never thought much of it until I passed by one of its feet and looked up. I must have looked from top to bottom a dozen times before I just decided I had to get some footage. I took the drone straight up the side of the bridge, watched the drone disappear into the sky, and then prayed and hoped that it would come straight down to me, and it did. After looking at the footage, I might want to go back and revisit this and do it a little differently with a little bit of a twist. It was only about 9:30 in the morning, and the ferry will be back in about, 15 or 20 minutes. So I had just enough time to put some finishing touches on my footage. Just before the dock, I was able to enlist the assistance of a random stranger to get the footage of me leaving the island. So cool. And it was done in one take. That was so awesome. And of course, I will be back. Ciao.